Good afternoon, veterans and families and honored guests and all who share an interest in the history of our great nation. Welcome, one and all, to the Arsenal of Democracy World War II Capitol Victory Flyover. My name is Rob Ryder. I'm an air show announcer, and I, along with you, are here to commemorate victory in World War II. And it is fitting that we do this today on the 70th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day, VE Day. Today you will see history pass before your eyes. As I speak, more than 50 vintage World War II aircraft are circling over Virginia, just outside Washington. And within the next few minutes, they'll start flying down the Potomac River in groups of 2 and 3 and 4. Then, at about 2-minute intervals, those small groups of aircraft, most of them traveling at speeds approaching 190 miles per hour, will take a left turn at the Lincoln Memorial and pass by us to the south. Watch closely, because as they pass, most of the aircraft will be visible for just 20 to 25 seconds. Before we get started, we'd like to briefly recognize those who have made this event possible. First, many thanks to the honorary co-chairman of today's event, President George H.W. Bush, the Honorable Bob Dole, and the Honorable John Dingell. Thanks also to the Honorary Congressional Committee chaired by Senator James Inhofe and Congressman Sam Graves. The event would not have been possible without the efforts of 5 organizations: the Commemorative Air Force, the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, the International Council of Air Shows, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and the Texas Flying Legends Museum. The level of interagency cooperation required to plan and conduct today's flyover has been remarkable. We're here today because of the hard work and focused efforts of the Federal Aviation Administration, Transportation Security Administration, National Park Service, Secret Service, Park Police, Capitol Police, and D.C. Metro Police. We've also been fortunate to work closely with 3 other organizations to plan for our event: the Friends of the National World War II Memorial, the National Air and Space Museum, and Smithsonian Air and Space Magazine. Special thanks to Air and Space Magazine for their help in preparing the description of the flyover you'll see here today. Many thanks also to Smithsonian Air and Space Magazine for the spotter cards that they produced and made available to all of you. Produced to mimic spotter cards created in World War II to help citizens distinguish between friendly and enemy aircraft, they'll help you this afternoon to recognize each type of aircraft as they make their way down the mall.
Aircraft participating in the flyover would stage out of 2 local airports. The 2 airports were Culpeper, Virginia, and the Culpeper Airport is located just about here, and Manassas, Virginia. The Manassas Airport is located just about here. Aircraft departing the Culpeper Airport would fly northeast up towards Washington, D.C., to the Potomac River, where they'd turn southeast, fly down to Key Bridge, and then execute a flight to the east along the mall, and then they would depart, heading back to the south. Aircraft departing Manassas would fly a similar route up to the Potomac River, down the Potomac to Key Bridge, then a left turn along the National Mall, then a right turn back to the south to depart. To execute the flyover, aircraft would fly down the Potomac, go over Key Bridge, angle down towards the Lincoln Memorial, then turn left and fly just south of the National Mall to a midpoint between the Washington Monument and the U.S. Capitol, where they'd turn to the right and depart the area. Aircraft that departed Culpeper Airport would take off to the northeast and head up to the D.C. area. On their return flight, they would approach from the east and usually circle around the airport and then land again to the northeast. The aircraft that departed Manassas Airport would take off to the northwest and then angle northeast up towards Washington, D.C. On returning after the flyby, they would approach and land from the south and land to the northwest. The mall flyover took place just north of Reagan National Airport. All flight activity into and out of Reagan National Airport was suspended for 1 hour to allow the flyover to take place. During one of the flyover formations, an Avenger aircraft that was part of a flight of 3 suffered a hydraulic leak and smoke entered the cockpit. So the pilot of that aircraft broke off from the flyby and proceeded due south and made an emergency landing at National Airport. The video clips that follow are derived from 12 video camera recordings. Those recordings were made at both Culpeper and Manassas airports during the takeoff and landing sequences, as well as multiple locations on or near the National Mall. 2 of the videos were captured on board aircraft, one on a B-17, the other on an Avenger. The 12 videos were edited to separate all the aircraft by type, and those edits were used to produce 218 separate short video segments. All the short segments related to a specific type of aircraft were then organized into a video project, and that project produced as a video of just that aircraft type taking off, doing its flyover, and landing. The flyover was organized into 15 formations that represented various phases of the air war. The flyover started with the trainer aircraft, proceeded through the fighter aircraft, then the light bombers, and ended with the heavy bombers. The last formation is called the Missing Man Formation, which represents a salute to those airmen that did not survive the war.